What's up, YouTube? My name is Ty, financial professional. Welcome to my channel. Please like the video, please subscribe, and catch me every weekday after market close on the Smarter Gambling Show. So here is DWAC, Digital World Acquisition Corp, or Truth Social. This finishes at $22.13 today. That is down 11.44%.
And it's gone.
So we haven't talked about this stock in about 2 months, but today this did make StockTwits top 10. It was number 3 after SPY and AMC. Had 4,000 mentions. So once again, we're going to analyze it. And there was a reason as to why the stock went down so much today. So let's check that out. So in the morning, there were reports suggesting that shareholders have rejected the SPAC's proposal to extend the deadline by a year for its merger with Donald Trump's Trump Media and Technology. So that was very bearish, and the stock sold off very significantly. This actually sold off more than 20% earlier in the day. But towards closing, we did have some good PR. The meeting today is getting postponed until Thursday, September 8th, and they're going to vote on the extension then. It says they're going to vote for an extension of 3 months, up to 4 times, for a total of 12 months. So that was bullish news, and the stock ran up about 10% to close the day. So a big recovery there, but still overall, massive sell-off in the stock today. And just the overall market's not doing so well. All right, let's jump right in. Let's go ahead and analyze here. So first of all, we have a cup and handle in the making. It looked like the bottom of the cup was 21.55. There was some very critical support there. Unfortunately, that was broken today, so I can't really say where the new bottom of the cup is, but there are multiple possible tops. It can be 46.45, 53.45, 74.60, 102, 120, or even the high of 175. Although I do believe the most realistic tops would be 46.45 or 53.45. But those are all bullish indicators. That is telling us that the stock should come back up to one of those tops to complete the cup. The RSI, the Relative Strength Index, is currently at 25. So this is officially in oversold and undervalued territory. So that's a bullish indicator. In the aftermarket here, this is running up to $23. So if this aftermarket action holds, that would be a bullish indicator for tomorrow. That is suggesting that tomorrow, the stock will run to the upside. And here we do have a descending channel forming. Right now, the upper channel is around 2150 and the lower channel is around 1850. So if it breaks 2150 to the upside, that would be bullish. And if this breaks 1850 to the downside, that would be bearish. This did in fact break 2150 today to the upside, so the ascending channel is currently a bullish indicator. And then we have a quadruple gap down. First gap down was created today at 2365. So that's a bullish indicator that is telling us that the stock should come back up to 2365 to fill that gap. Second gap down was back at 4235. So another bullish indicator that is telling us that the stock should come back up to 4235 to fill this gap. Third gap down was back at $59. So another bullish indicator that is telling us that the stock should come back up to $59 to fill this gap. And the final gap down was back at $64.25. So another bullish indicator that is telling us that the stock should eventually come back up to $64.25 to fill this gap. So quadruple gap down, extremely bullish. And now for the bearish stuff. So way back when this first IPO'd, this gapped up at 10.05. So that's a bearish indicator that is telling us that the stock should come back down to 10.05 eventually to fill that gap. Down here on the MACD, the moving average convergence divergence, the MACD line is pulling away from the signal line to the downside. So that's a bearish indicator that is telling us that it may be time to sell. And if you guys want to follow along, the link to the chart is in the description down below. So right now this is trading between the sideways channel, the rectangle of 2340 and 2155. So if this goes to the upside, next levels of resistance would be 2340, 2450, 2545, 2705, 2815, $30, 3110, 32, 3325, 3570, 3765, 3960, and then 4090. There is resistance above 4090, but we're not going to discuss that right now. And if this goes to the downside, next levels of support would be 2155, 1650, 1275, 1065, and then the low of 985. So right now at the current price, 2213, the channels to the upside and the downside are pretty decently sized, so expect a regular amount of price action either way this goes. However, if/when this breaks 2155 to the downside, the channel starts to open up and get really wide, so expect a significant increase in price action if/when this breaks 2155 to the downside. And to the upside, if/when this breaks 102, the channel starts to open up and get really wide. So expect a significant increase in price action if/when this breaks 102 to the upside. And this did 6 million in volume today. Pretty decent volume. So the sell-off today was confirmed by the volume. Okay, guys, just my opinion, not financial advice. So fundamentally, I don't like this company. They have a lot of drama that they need to figure out right now. They really need to merge because they're running out of money. But technically, this does look pretty bullish. Again, we have some strong bullish indicators right now in the cup and handle, quadruple gap down, aftermarket action, RSI, and descending channel. And again, we have some bearish indicators in the gap up and MACD. So way more bullish indicators than bearish indicators right now. So therefore, if you want to go long, not financial advice, the current entry of 2213 is oversold, undervalued, according to the RSI, and looks really bullish in the short and long terms. My only concern is the gap up at $10. There is a good chance this does fill the gap there. So again, this should eventually come back up to 64.25 to fill the gap there. And from the current price of 22.13, that would be over a 190% upside potential. So huge upside potential here in the longer term. And again, this should eventually come back down to $10 to fill the gap there. And from the current price of 22.13, that would be about a 55% downside potential. So also a lot of downside potential here in the short term. So I would say going long at the current price, 22.13 would be a high risk, very high reward play. It's worth a shot right now. Not a bad entry at all. But honestly, if you're a bit patient, this should eventually come back down to $10 to fill the gap, and that would be an even better entry. And from 10.05, where the gap is, up to 64.25, where the highest gap is, that would be about a 540% upside potential. So I would say going long at $10 would be a low risk, very high reward play. And that is definitely worth a shot, in my opinion. Really can't go too wrong there. Massive upside potential in the longer term, and really shouldn't go too much further to the downside. That's pretty much the all-time low. So I can support going long at the current price, 22.13. Already a really good entry, and if it pulls back, then you can just average down at the supports that I mentioned before. Although personally, I would try to get this back at $10. It really doesn't get better than that at $10. But yeah, going long here at the current price or lower, excellent entries, and should pay off pretty big in the long term. Now, if you want to go short, not financial advice, it's not the greatest play, but you should be able to make some pretty good money here on the downside. Just pretty risky. Again, way more bullish indicators than bearish indicators right now. Again, this should eventually come back up to 64.25 to fill the gap there, which would be about a 190% upside potential. And again, this should eventually come back down to $10 to fill the gap there, which would be about a 55% downside potential. So I would say going short here would be a very high risk, high reward play. It's worth a shot in my opinion. Just be very careful. There is a chance you can get squeezed out here. So it is a bit risky, but as long as you're able to withstand the upside pressure here, again, this should eventually come back down to $10 to fill the gap there, and that should be some pretty fat tendies on the downside. So I can support going short at the current price, 22.13, and again, I would cover at $10 where the gap is for a relatively easy 55% downside gain. So yeah, this does look bullish in the short and long terms, although this may keep pulling back down to $10. So we'll see what happens on Thursday during the meeting. Big catalyst coming up here. So sorry to everyone who lost money in the stock today, but this could be a good buying opportunity, not financial advice. And good luck to everyone currently in the stock and to everyone looking to take a position. This is DWAC, Digital World Acquisition Corp, or Truth Social. Thanks everyone for watching today. I appreciate you guys. Please like the video, please subscribe, and catch me every weekday after market close on The Smarter Gambling Show. I'm Ty. This is Smarter Gambling. See you guys tomorrow. Peace out.